All right, we're back with Tony's Vintage Club of the Week. This week, we got a set of Muirfield Jack Nicklaus McGregor clubs. I've got the 2-iron in my hand. Look at this thing. That is, I could butter my toast with this. So, Mr. Lovato, give me the lowdown on this club.
These are the 1983 to 1986 Jack Nicklaus Muirfields. And actually what he has, I have the 2-iron all the way to the wedge in this collection. And of course, like I was saying in another one of my videos earlier, that I collect Ben Hogan's, but I also I love to carry anything Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, Chichi Rodriguez, and all those guys, because that's what I like. But this set here came from a local guy here. He was the president of a golf course here that you belong to now.
Oh.
And these were his actual clubs. And
no way.
I am now the third owner, because he bought them in the late 80s from the owner in California that owned them. Then he bought them down there in California, and then he brought them up here. And then I saw them on, I think it was on Marketplace, and
snagged them.
And I picked them up.
And what makes these clubs special?
Again, the forging. Look at this, they say tour forged. Right. And that is just awesome. The way that you feel these at impact are crazy good. And when Gabe gets to try these out, which I'm very excited for him to try it and get the feel of these. Gabe has tested a lot of the newer clubs, but I want him to try out some of these clubs, because these vintage clubs are still awesome to hit. I hit them, and the feeling and the sound of these, Gabe, are just breathtaking at times. And that's why they're so good. And they got a nice little small, thin top line, a nice muscle back on them. And you guys that have played these before, comment below. Talk about the ones that your dad hit, the ones that you own right now. What stiff shaftness that you got on yours. I left the grips on, original that he had on there, so these grips have to be at least 20 to 25 years old. But
these are the old cord grips.
Yeah, and I like them because it just gives the originality. And a lot of stuff I'll change. These are the velvet cord victory grips. And I like them. I also like how the ferrule, they have the numbers on the ferrules, and each of these numbers on the ferrules tell you the year they were made, the month that they were made, what shafts they are, what lengths they are, and also the type of grip that they installed at the factory. So that's what all
that's baked into the serial number.
That's exactly right.
Why is it longer? Like, you know, if you look at a modern club, the distance between the club head to the ferrule is so much shorter. Do you know why it's such a long length here?
I think a lot of that depended on the type of weight that you want. Each of these heads have to weigh a certain amount of weight. And so when you build a club, it's got to weigh so much, so that way you get the right swing weight to it. And a lot of these were made with a smaller head, which is not so big, as large as the other ones, but they have a nice muscle back on them. They want the right design. Plus, the longer the hosel on this, I believe you get a better feel out of that. Kind of like the old Callaways, they have the short hosels on them. These have a longer one. Kind of like back in the days with the older irons and whatnot. They have a nice feel to them. The shaft goes in a little bit deeper on these things inside the hosel, and they feel really good at that. And once a guy tries these out, you'll figure out why they do that. Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Stay tuned for another episode.
We'll be back.
Perfect.
All right.